Yo, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about the ZYRE. Finally, my review on ZYRE 03 is out. It took a little while before the rubber came in, but I think it's time to give my opinion on the rubber. Really quick before we begin, I wanted to let you know that the black side of my racket is the ZYRE. I put only one with the goal of having it on my forehand, but after this review, I'm gonna think on if the ZYRE actually fits my playstyle or not. But couple of things before we begin. Tested it on the on my setup instead of Dignex 09C. So blade is T-Mobile ALC. Red side would be Dignex 05. Black side is ZYRE 03. Okay, let's begin. We really wanted to start with bad stuff on the rubber because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to think about to say, but really wanted to get the bad stuff out of the gate so that you kind of know what I have as far as thoughts on the rubber. So first of all, the rubber is just too expensive. I don't think that it would fit the amateur player. This is very even though I feel like with the features that Butterfly were promising that it's gonna last longer and stuff like that, I feel like this is still very much niche rubber. That I believe only pros can really play with it, and you're gonna understand what I mean here in just a second. The short game, I really struggled with the short game with this rubber. I did not like it when, especially comparing it to my short game that I had with 09C. I got used to it, and I just feel like it's a lot more different. And then if there's no proper timing, you'll be struggling with this rubber. You need to have proper technique because it's super hard, and we're going to talk about boosting here in a second. So let's talk about some things that the rubber does well, some things that the rubber does not well. Let's talk about the sides of the rubbers first. Let's start with the forehand first. I believe this is where the rubber did not made a great impression on me. So as you know from my videos, my game style, the way I like to play with my forehand is I like my first attack to be a lot more slower. I like my first attack to be a lot more spinnier. So spinny banana, as we call it, spinny ball from forehand from downspin, which this rubber does not handle really well. This rubber is meant to be for forward attacking style. You're gonna notice me talk to Jesse about it as well, that I cannot do bananas in the way that I want him to, even though sometimes I am able to perform that move. The rubber doesn't grip the ball as much as I want it to, so that the topspin is really easily received, as you can see here. And then me and Jesse were discussing that it was not as spinny as it usually is. But rubber is very great at handling the attack just if it goes just forward. If you going through the ball, if you really great at using your legs and going through the ball with the really hard first attacking ball, this is the rubber for you. As you can see, I'm going to be talking with Jesse in a couple of balls here, but like those short spinny balls I cannot do, and this is mostly my game on the forehand side. But if you go forward, then the rubber just excels really well. I believe the feeling can be better on the rubber if you boost it. I haven't tried boosting it, so this is going to be my second review of the ZYRE when I actually boost it, and we'll see how it goes. But making this rubber a little bit less hard would be beneficial, I believe. Another bad thing, I touched on it earlier, no short game. It's not tacky. Even though it's grippy, it's really good at long pushes and long slices, but leaving the ball short, unless you actually put a lot of effort, you use that grip to your advantage, then there's kind of no short game to be had in a way. I definitely prefer 09C in that scenario more. Spin for me is much more important than playing quick with spin. So this rubber does not fit my forehand, and I do believe that this rubber can supercharge your best attribute, especially when it's attacking attribute. And for me, it really is the backhand side. Couple of more things to close on the forehand. Grip is amazing. Service is really good. The ball just sits on the rubber. The first thing I notice how grippy the rubber is, and it's just the serves, the amount of serves that I can mix and match, and the way that it feels really well to serve is super good with ZYRE, and really great at counters. If you're countering far from a table, this rubber will fit perfectly, because it's really because it's so grippy. It kind of relieves you a lot of effort that you need to put on your side as far as the forehand counter goes, and you don't need a lot of timing on the forehand side to kind of counter it and play with confidence that way. But let's talk about what I liked about this rubber, and that was when I played it on the backhand side. It's surprisingly good at blocking. I felt really good whenever I was blocking shots. Whenever I was playing flat, this was very surprising, because it does have the 2.7 millimeter sponge, but I could hit through it really well, and the flat shots were feeling really amazing. And I'm not the type of player who plays a lot of flat shots, but if need be, I felt confident enough to play flat shots with those. Again, back to counters, it was amazing how ZYRE could handle the counter shots on the backhand. I feel like whenever everything was coming at me, I had so much control countering the shots. And I did talk through my last few Road to WTC videos that I had to kind of pull back my my backhand because I needed it to be more controlled and on the table. I feel like with ZYRE I can do that and put more power, which is really nice. That I can counter with a lot more strength and power and a lot more speed, and that it just brings me that confidence that it just grips really well. I feel like this is something that people talk about, putting 09C on the backhand. That's what the effect is, but just ZYRE is a little bit more quicker. And I don't enjoy tacky rubbers on the backhand, and I feel like ZYRE is just kind of the perfect rubber to kind of make my backhand even better. And I believe as soon as I get used to it on my backhand side, this is where I believe my backhand is going to be even better. Also, another thing that I want to discuss is just because of the grip of the rubber, the strawberries felt super nice. It felt, whenever I wanted to make a strawberry, the grip was there. I didn't have to kind of put as much effort as I usually put with 05 to get a lot of spin on the ball, which is really nice. But with that being said, would I recommend the ZYRE to anyone out there? Yes and no. Depends on what kind of a player you are. I wouldn't recommend it to, for example, to my students of a lower level. I believe it's not going to fit the game, and it's a really specific. I did talk about Harimoto in the last video, and I know that a lot of pros are kind of switching to ZYRE, and they're the kind of people this rubber is made for. I know that Butterfly wanted to sell this as much as possible because it is the rubber that can hold on the longer, and you can tell that because of the smaller distance between pips, and it will last a lot longer, but we're gonna see. I only played with it just a few times so far. This rubber, even though the features advertised kind of were made for amateur players, I believe the amateur players should not play with it, because it requires you doing specific things. As you can tell, there were a few points where I just rip it up and the ball just flies off, and it's not a good thing whenever amateur players play, because I feel like the rubber you should be more demanding of rubber in terms of a lot more elements that you can do, and ZYRE demands a lot of feeling to do specific things that you're trying to do with the rubber. believe the issue with the short game I can resolve, because I can get used to what kind of response I get from ZYRE. But I believe that I will look towards getting Dignex 09C back on my racket on the forehand side, and we're gonna play with ZYRE on the backhand side. I really want to make a video with me boosting the ZYRE, seeing how the rubber responds, seeing how what kind of changes we're gonna have if the ZYRE is a little bit less hard, and we'll go from there. Yeah, just a quick review, a couple of my thoughts. Let me know what you think, if you tried the ZYRE and if you agree with whatever I'm saying here. So yeah, just in short, I believe it's some of the bad stuff, some of the good stuff. All in all, I will be leaving it on my setup on the backhand side. Even though I did purchase it originally for the forehand, and I will try to play my next tournament in Road to WTT on the forehand. But eventually we'll be switching ZYRE to the backhand side, where I believe it's just gonna supercharge my backhand in a way. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'm right on this, and you let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I see you in the next one. Bye bye.